Hey, second grade, welcome back to another math lesson. Today's joke is, why did the skeleton not go to the dance? Because he had no body to dance with. All right, let's get started on our math. So today is 7.8, and it's all about word problems. So we are going to follow these 5 steps in order to be successful on every single word problem we do today. So the steps are 1, read the word problem, 2, use cubs, 3, write the equation, 4, solve, and 5, check your work. So the first thing we're going to do is read. It says, an apple orchard, an orchard is another word for farm. So an apple orchard has 562 apples in it. 328 apples are picked. How many apples are left? Now that we read it, we're going to move on to number 2, which says use cubs. So first we need to see, which means circle our numbers. So right away I see the number 562. As I keep going, I see 328. All right, now we are going to do U, which means underline the question. How many apples are left? Next, we need to do B, which means box important words. And I see the words picked, which tells me that something is getting taken. I also see the word left, which I know usually means we are going to be subtracting. Last is to solve. So we're ready to move on to step 3. Step 3 says write your equation. Before we write our equation, I want to draw you a picture to show you why we are going to subtract. So we already boxed words that told us we're going to subtract. I'm going to show you using a picture. So I'm going to draw this box, which represents all the apples. So we know we have 562, but not all of these apples are picked. So I'm going to draw a line splitting the box into 2 parts. And you can see this box is a little bit bigger because I know 328 is a pretty big number. So we know that 328 apples are picked. So some of the apples are picked, but we do not know how many are left. So I'm going to draw a little question mark right here to show that we do not know that number. So what we can do is, since we know these 2 numbers, I know I can subtract 562, subtract 328, and I will get this missing amount. So that is why we are going to subtract today. Now I need to do step 3, which we're still on, which means write equation. So I'm going to take my numbers and I'm going to write them in the standard algorithm going up and down. And I know 562 is our bigger number, so I'm going to write that on top. And I'm going to subtract, so I'm going to write my little subtract sign, and then I'm going to plop in my next number, 328. All right, now I am ready to move on to step number 4, which is to solve. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to quickly use regrouping if I need to and solve this problem. So I have 2 subtract 8, which I cannot do. So I am going to borrow from the tens. I'll have 5 tens left over, and my 2 is going to change to a 12. Now I have 12 subtract 8. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. My answer is 4. and I can move on to my tens place. 5 subtract 2 equals 3, and 5 subtract 3 equals 2. So my answer is 234. Before I can move on, our last step says to check our work. And how we are going to do that, if you forgot, is we are going to flip this problem around. So we are going to add our two smaller numbers together and see if we come up with 562. So I have 234 plus 328. I know 4 plus 8 equals 12. So I'm going to put the 2 down and carry that 1 into the tens place. 1 plus 3 equals 4. 4 plus 2 equals 6. And 2 plus 3 equals 5. So I got 562, just like in our problems, so I know I solved it correctly. Now, on your assignment today, you are going to see this. What this is asking you to do is to plop in the numbers in an equation that goes horizontally. So you're literally going to just plop all these numbers you wrote down into this equation. Watch how I do it. So my first number was 562. In this bubble, I'm going to put my sign, which we are subtracting. Next, I'm going to write my next number, 328. And in this bubble, we need to write our equal sign. So far it reads 562 subtract 328 equals, and we're going to plop in our last number, or our answer, 234. All right, second grade. So our complete answer says 562 subtract 328 equals 234 apples. We are going to do one more problem together. Please go grab your notebook if you haven't yet and come back to solve this next problem together.